What is going on, everybody? It is Zach from the Duelist Den here, going over my Unchained deck profile. Now, I went 3-1, should have been undefeated, but made a mistake, so won't be making that mistake again, and then we'll be totally good to go from here. It's feeling really good, but there was no Pearly at this local, which is the hardest matchup for Unchained in my opinion. But put my field center out of the way. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and get right into it. So for the classic Unchained cards, we have 3 Aruha. Working with 3, we got double Sarama. So double and double Rakea. Then we're doing a bomb, and then 1 disaster. I know a lot of people were cutting disaster, but this card has definitely saved me a lot. Like slapping it on the board, link summoning with the opponent's monster right off the bat on like your second summon is super powerful. Abominable, I'm thinking of going to 2. Like this came up more times than you think, and having it be banished sucks. So I think I'm going to move to 2. Moving forward, I'll find something to cut a little bit later on. So 3 Arua, 2 Sarama, 2 Rakea, 1 Disaster, and I'm 1 Abominable is what I ran on this one. And it felt good. I was just feeling a little bit short on this one. I'm running 3 names of Rakea and Sarama. I was doing that, then I cut down to 2 because opening up double of either of these feels really bad. Okay, that's the classic ones. We'll move these guys out of the way. And we'll move into the new Unchained cards that feel really good. So 1 new blue dog and then 3 red dog. Now, red dog is absolutely insane, and blue dog is actually really insane too, unless you open it. If you open this in your hand, that just hurts. It's like opening disaster. It's just a brick. So now we have 1 more brick, but it's not exactly a garnet. If you have Muttcracker, you can push this out from your hand, send it to graveyard. Use this graveyard effect to pop and summon, and you'd pop the Muttcracker and then summon it out that way. It's a little janky, but this is how we make an extra deck monster that does a lot of work for us. And this card's insane. You just literally send it to the graveyard and set a spell or trap. It's insane. So you link it off with one of your other main names for Yama, and then you have huge extension. Huge extension. Now for the auxiliary package, we're running the tour guide package here. 3 tour guide, 1 fiend. Tour guide has been like the best bait ever. This is gonna bait out Fenrir. This is gonna bait out Ash Blossom. It's gonna bait out Imperm. It's gonna bait out everything, and you don't even really care. Like this will bait everything out, and then you can, hopefully you have a way to continue from there. If all you open was tour guide and you don't have any other spell traps or names, then you're in a really bad spot. Hopefully you have pot or something like that to bait the Ash, but it feels like we're back in the Burning Abyss format, but this card is insane. That's it. All there is to it. You normal summon Tour Guide, summon Rhino, link to Yama, Rhino effect, chain 2, chain 1 Yama, so you're chain blocking Yama as well. Now moving into the Kaijus, we have 3 Radiant. Radiant is the only Fiend Kaiju, which actually comes up a lot because with your Link 2 and Link 3 Rage and Anguish, when they're destroyed by card effect or battle, you can add a Fiend back to hand. So if your opponent pops it or attacks over it, and you've already Kaiju'd them, you have a Kaiju in your grave, you can add it from grave back to hand, and you can just keep recycling the Kaiju if you have enough gas in your hand to not need one of the mainline monsters. So absolutely insane to main deck it. Plus main decking a lot of boss Kaiju helps a lot of boss monsters like, I don't know, Final Sigma, Arise Heart, all those guys, and especially all the Pearly monsters as well. So it helps a lot there. Hand traps. Now, I am only running 6 hand traps. I'm running 3 Ash, 3 Droll. I decided to go in for a lot more defensive cards that you'll see in a second here. But the 3 Ash, 3 Droll, every time I saw either one of them was highly impactful. Droll is insane. Droll pretty much just says, hey, your turn is over for most decks. And then Ash is also a very targeting, but very powerful. Like if you Droll them And then they go, okay, no big deal. We're going to special summon from the deck, and you have Ash at the same time. You roll them, Ash them, their turn's over. Like, there's nothing that they're going to be able to do. I was running 3 Imperm, but I decided to cut it for Thrust, and that'll come up in a bit later for what we're talking about. So that's it for the hand traps. We'll move into spells. I'm running 3 Abominations Prison. This is your Rhoda for the deck. The only thing that really sucks about this card is that it is not considered an Unchained card. This card is not considered an Unchained card. So if you like Rhoda, you can't Abominations Prison search Surama, summon Surama, bring back Prison to pop Prison, because she has to bring back an Unchained card, and this does not count as an Unchained card. Big misstep on their part. I guess they were worried about that exact interaction back in the day, but honestly, it's not that strong anymore. So they need to make Unchained Prison so we can actually set it back to the field. Other than that, I am running 3 Pot of Prosperities, 3 Thrust, 3 Talents. Now, Talents has come up a lot, mainly just to non-target steal a monster. This baits out pretty much any Omni Negate that they have, which is what it's there for. Because if they negate the activation, you can activate Thrust, search your second Talents, activate Talents. And then, or you search your Prison. So Thrust is insane. Kind of the way that we've been working at our locals, we all agreed that the group consensus for the ruling was that if we activate Thrust, we set an Unchained trap card, and you pop that card, the graveyard effect still goes off. So Thrust says if your opponent controls a monster, you can either add it to hand, or if they don't control a monster, you set it to the field, use whatever normal spell or trap. But then that set card can't be activated this turn, but it says set card, not that card's name. So we took it as you can't activate it on the field. So we pop it, the graveyard effect activates in the grave. That's how we came to it. It's a group consensus at our locals. If that's wrong, someone will let us know, I'm sure, and we'll chit chat with judges at the regionals as well. Because if that's not quite how that works, and this will go down to 1 to make 4 copies of everything. So yeah, because this is insane. This is going to be a copy of Pot, a copy of Talents, a copy of Prison, or any of your trap cards for Unchained as well. But if that's not how that works, a couple of these are coming out, Imperms are going in. Easy switch. Now we're going to move to the trap cards of the deck. So, pretty classic. The ratio I decided to run was 3 Escape and 3 Chamber. Or 2 Chamber. 2 Chamber, 3 Escape. I was running Chamber at 3, but I never missed it. When I put it back to 2, I never missed the 3rd copy. So yeah, I'm planning to keep it at 2. There's currently a 43 card deck. There is a world where you put Chamber to 3, Surama and Rakea to 3 to max out on names, but when I was doing that, I was opening doubles of the same name too much, and that kind of hurts. There was one game where it was crazy. There was one game where my opening hand was all 5 of these. That was my opening hand, was all 5 traps. I only run 5 traps in the entire deck. I opened all 5 in my opening hand, and I was like, what the F is this? Didn't win that game, but ended up winning the match of that one. It was pretty entertaining, pretty crazy how that worked out. Now to the extra. Now the new best card in the entire deck is going to be Yama. I run 1 not fancy one and 1 very fancy one. Not sure if you guys can see that or not, but it is a 25 or a quarter century rare Yama. The first week I brought Unchained, someone opened it and they were more than happy to trade it to me. So that was super exciting to get the fancy guy. Yama's amazing. On summon, he searches. So you want to chain block this the best that you can with Fiendish Rhino and or new Red Dog. So you can chain block him and get your search off. It's very, very powerful. Now for the classic lineup here, I am running 3 Rage, double Anguish, 3 Abomination, and that's pretty much it. Now I am running 3 Abomination. there's no need for that. I just didn't put my Underworld Goddess in. I just kind of put it together and left it there. One of these is going to become Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. And the other one is pretty much just targets for Pot of Prosperity. Now for the Xyz, we have Zeus. Zeus is Zeus, you know what he does. And then the real MVP of the deck is Wave High King Caesar. This card is nuts. You literally just put red dog, blue dog, Xyz over with this. This says if a spell or trap or monster effect is activated that like mentions special summoning, you can detach one, negate the effect, which is insane. It's like you're out to Nibiru, you're out to most decks that special summon. It's not once per turn, so you get 2 special summon negates with one guy. And since you're going to have red dog attached, is when you detach red dog and sent to the grave, the red dog's effect sent to graveyard can set a Unchained spell or trap from deck, which is insane. So you just keep kind of extending and going from there. Now my last 3 ofs, I got Unicorn, Muckracker, and then a Garura. Garura was when I was planning on running Super Poly in the side deck. I decided against it because Super Poly I don't think is that great right now when there's other things that you could be running instead. Like, don't get me wrong, Super Poly is a heck of a card. Spell speed 4 is insane. Very, very good. Muckracker, you know what? I never found myself in a position where I needed Muckracker. I might cut it, but I'm not sure. I might leave it and just keep it for Pot of Prosperity target. There is a world where if you open up the blue dog brick, the new one, where you go to this, activate the effect to discard the new blue dog, summon back one of hopefully Unchained monsters that you have but didn't use. Then you can activate blue dog in graveyard, pop that Unchained monster, special summon blue dog, and get the destruction effect of like Rakea or Sarama or Arua. There is a world where that is the play. I just never had to do it. Like, I have not had to do that yet. So anytime I ever made Muckracker, it was because I didn't have any names at all. And that hurts bad. So that is the extra. We'll get this kind of put away and go through the side deck real quick. Yama is now the new coolest Unchained card in existence. Now, side deck. Nothing too crazy here. Everyone should kind of be running something similar to this, I believe. We have 3 Dark Ruler, thrust target. We have 3 Nibiru, just because Nibiru is Nib. Every time I sided Nibiru in, never saw it. So that felt good. 3 D-Barrier, because D-Barrier is insane, especially with a thrust. Let's say you do something, they hand trap you, they ash you. You go, okay, or they even if they troll you, be like, all right, thrust, set D-Barrier. Good luck, man. Then we have the back row hate. We have 1 Harpy, double Cyclone. Harpies is a thrust target. Cyclone, just draw it. Now, the funny part about when I sided all 3 of these in, I saw all 3 of them. And I was like, that was awesome. Because I'm only siding them in if I absolutely need to. And very last bit is Mourner. Mourner wins in time and negates a monster effect, so it's very, very good. Nothing like negating a monster effect, burning them, and then winning in time, if need be. And yeah, that should do it for the side deck. 15-card side. And that's going to be it for my deck profile. Let me know what you guys think of the Unchained deck profile. Let me know if you guys know the official ruling on thrust or not for that. Because I am curious about that, but that's the only thing that might be a little bit sus. I might have to just take thrust down from 3 to 1 and run, have it be my 4th copy of cards that I'm already running instead. But other than that, guys, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought. And yeah, we'll go from there. Let me know if you guys want combos or anything like that as well.